What's up, guys? John from PumaFly.com with another on the farm video. Thanks, guys, for clicking on the video. We do appreciate that. So, yeah, as you can see behind me, got the Case 995 out today. Got the brush hog on it, and I'm actually standing out in the field right now. As you guys can see, the cornfield is now gone. So down here, this is where our electric poles come in. See, there's one over there, and so there's an old field road over here. And since it kind of runs along with our electric wires, we feel like we should go ahead and maintain it. Nobody else really does. There's two planes in the sky over there, and so as you guys can see, there's quite a bit of like weedy, crappy mess. You can see the one farmer on our side where the corn was, he went ahead and sprayed it a while back. The other farmers over there where the beans are, they don't really come in here and maintain this, which is fine. It is actually their property, but I don't really care. I'm gonna go ahead and mow it. So let's get it done, right? Let's do it. We're gonna put the head mount GoPro on, obviously, or the head mount for the GoPro. If you guys can even hear me. If you can, then you're seeing this. If not, I guess I won't use this clip, but let's get it done.
What's up, guys? John, the voiceover guy here from, of course, PumaFly.com. Obviously, where else would I be from? So I'm just gonna mow this road and get the old brush hog fired up here. I was actually thinking while I was editing this video that like I should do a how to operate or how to control this tractor, because like you know, you guys saw me like reach down to the side. Well, what is that? You guys don't know, do you? I'm sure there's at least one of you that has this like same tractor, which I think is pretty neat. And so you would probably know how to run it, but everybody else, would you guys be interested in a video kind of like that, like how to operate, how to control, kind of thing? I don't know what you'd even call it, but I thought that could be kind of interesting. Maybe this winter when there's not much going on down on the farm. So you're seeing it here. I'm going to go a little slow. There's a washout in the road right there. Front tires are in it, back tires are in it, and this road, especially this part, because this part gets used pretty heavily by the other farmer, obviously, and they don't really, like I said in the little intro thing, they don't really take care of it. It needs to be graded or smoothed or whatever you want to call it, but they just don't do it. The center's getting real high in this sucker. See, our gravel road that we have, I worked very hard on that to keep that center down so that people that come down with smaller cars don't have issues dragging up and stuff. But this road is literally used for semi trucks pretty much only, you know, the occasional like sprayer, something like that, but farming operations only. That's what this road is used for. So you can see the soybeans are ripening quite well on the right. That is what I would deem our field, even though it's not our field, quote unquote. It's the ground that Grandpa used to own. We don't own it anymore. There's one of the pipelines. There's two. There's a total of 5 pipelines on the old farm. There was 4, and then a few years ago they put in another one out back here. But yeah, this is what I would deem our field on the right. It's the back 40 acres that, or back 80 acres that Grandpa used to own. And the front field was 100 acres, so he used to own 180. We only own 5 now. But we got to keep the buildings and stuff, so that's all good. So we're gonna reach the end of the property line here in a second, and I'm like, you know what, YOLO, I'm not gonna mow it. So I stop and turn the mower off. It's so fast that you can't even tell. Wow. So we're gonna go for a little drive here down past what used to be our property. We're on the neighbors now. And a few years ago, they decided that they were tired of losing so many crops back here, so they dug this giant ditch. And this is man-made. This was not here before. They dug this with they brought in an excavator, a big bulldozer, and a bunch of trucks. And they dug this sucker, and I've heard it's like 11 feet deep. And they were hoping that it would like gather water, and then it would, you know, go down in the earth and soak in. But it doesn't. It just kind of holds water. And you guys couldn't see it in the video, but there were actually fish in there. I don't know what kind, but they look to be pretty decent size, really. So kind of funny. And then here we are back up front. From where I started, going back along the cornfield, that cornfield did average about 200 bushel to the acre. I think it was 190 or something. The corn around here has not been nearly as good as it could be. We had too much rain in June and July, and it just kind of messed things up. And actually the corn on the blacker dirt, see around here we have two types of dirt. We have basically blacker dirt, which is your better dirt, and then we have sandier dirt, which obviously is sandier and doesn't grow near the crops that the blacker dirt will on a normal year. But because we had so much rain this year, the sandier ground is actually doing a lot better this year for corn and whatnot. There's many farmers in the area that had their best corn ever on a couple fields because it was sandier dirt, and it just allowed it to drain a lot better, because we were getting big rains twice a week there in June for a while, like all of June. It was the wettest June I think we just missed the wettest June on record here in St. Louis by like a couple inches of rain. And then we started July 1st out. I think we had a couple inches of rain that day, so we might as well have had the record, This is the blast corner that I actually go to right here, because then it's completely on, quote, other farmers' property lines, and there's another farm just right up the row here. And so I don't go past this one, but it's a nasty corner. Because see, when they put the telephone poles in, they didn't take them to like corners of fields, they just kind of went where they wanted. So there's two corners where they're not quite on the corners of the fields, so it's a little messier for the farmers to kind of work around. And I'll do what I can with the brush hog today, and then we'll come back out here after stuff dies off in the winter, and we'll come back down with string trimmers, machetes, whatever we need to clean up the rest of it. And we may even, sometimes we bring our big torch down and we'll cook it so it's actually dead. It's one of those things that like doesn't really need to be done, but if you go out there and maintain it once a year, it's amazing. It doesn't grow brushy crap. You just get tall weeds. Before we started doing this a couple years ago, there was actually a mulberry bush out here, which I'm sure you guys all know what that is. It's a big weed brush, basically. And we actually had to take chainsaws down there, and it was good size. We did burn that down there. Fun fact about that fire, actually, I burned my beard off in that fire. I had a pretty big beard like I do now, and there was a little wind gust, kinda, and the fire just kinda came up at me. Like, the fire didn't get super close to me, but I guess it got hot enough real fast. And I had to shave when I got home because it was all burnt and white and really smelled. I don't know if you guys have ever smelled burnt hair. It's not fun. So this part of the field right here was actually a little wet, and the farmers don't mind you driving on the ground as long as you don't tear it up. So I was getting a little nervous there. I'm like, oh, I don't want to mess it up, because yeah, it's just not the neighborly thing to do. But they will be working the ground anyway, so actually it is worked already by now, but so it really doesn't matter. But at the same time, it's just kind of a nice neighborly thing to do, is not mess up other people's ground. So yeah. And since I only have a 2-wheel drive tractor, you can see I did leave some tracks out there, but nothing too bad or anything. So the reason I can't mow all of this right here, there's 2 guide wires on this pole, because it's, like I said, it's a corner. There's just another farm down the road there in front of me right there, and so there's only like 1 or 2 more telephone poles. They can maintain them because they get their power from it too. So we just turn around and go back towards the farm. Now guys, I want you to not forget that next Saturday, October 3rd, is our 24-hour #ForTheKids live stream, where we'll be streaming on Twitch for 24 hours, playing lots of games, and raising a bunch of money for Extra Life. So make sure you're there. So Mike was playing with the disc out in the cornfield a little bit. Just, kind of shine it up a little bit and just play with it more than anything. And so why not? Oh, he says hi, apparently. So we're just gonna disc up the field a little bit. I took it out later on and did a little bit more, just kind of still getting it tuned and getting the wings adjusted a little bit, and not the wings, the gangs.
There you guys go. We're done with the mowing for today. We will be back out here this winter to go ahead and finish cleaning up with a string trimmer and stuff. But until next time, thank you guys so much for watching on the farm video. Do appreciate it. We'll catch you next time. Toodles. I don't know what was up with the toodles, but toodles.